What's going on, my friends? I got a little creative today and made some things that I usually would have purchased, and I just bought the ingredients and made some stuff. First thing that I made was my own breakfast drink, but first of all, let me just get this pipe rolling here. Big fat 320 author pipe. I made a coffee alternative, but it's not an alternative to coffee. It's a hot breakfast drink concoction, similar to the one that I was drinking last month when I was doing my summer shred. And I took all the ingredients, and you got to be careful. Do not think you're going to put all these ingredients in at equal measures. Not going to do that. Otherwise, it's like you're not going to put like a tablespoon. I made a whole jar. Made like a whole jar, like the size of a peanut butter jar. So tomorrow morning I will take a scoop of that, a coffee scoop, which is about a tablespoon, and I will mix that with hot water, hot milk, a touch of honey, and whisk it up a little bit. And I did it this morning, and it was insane. It was insane. Take a look at all the ingredients. Here's a picture here. And I've got enough for probably 2 to 3 weeks now. And this morning, my first batch was pretty good. I kind of took it out by, one product at a time in the cup. But when I got back from the part-time job today, I said, you know what, I want to make it to my specifications. So I get more of the taste that I want. So take a look at all the ingredients and figure out what you want. If you want it more like a chocolatey kind of drink, but not sweet. Do not confuse chocolatey with hot chocolate. Cacao is raw chocolate, the cacao bean. It's magnificent. And then I have ginger in it, nutmeg, cardamom, cinnamon, a little bit of Himalayan salt, black pepper. What else? I forget. You'll see in the picture. And it makes a magnificent, rich brown powder. Mix it all up insanely well. Put it in a jar. And that's what I'll have tomorrow morning. So that's the deal with that. Second thing I did, talking too much, not puffing. Not enough puffing. What's that Elvis song? A lot less talk and a little more action, right? A lot less talk and a little more puffing. I made a pemmican-ish type of cake. I took these mini cupcake papers. I guess that's what we can call them. And I bought a case of 4 bison tallow jars. They're about the size of a peanut butter jar. I get them from Epic, a company called Epic. And bison tallow is hard. It's hard like chocolate is. Literally, like milk chocolate is hard. Okay? Like literally, you could tap it. It's not mushy like beef tallow or duck fat or other kind of cooking fats that you would use. It's hard. Like you can't really push your finger in it. So I melted that. Well, this is what I did. I took a nice fatty roast. You don't have to worry about lean. Do not worry about lean, okay? You want a big fatty roast. You want the roast from the market that everyone else bypasses. Cut it up in pieces, put it in your dehydrator, and run that dehydrator There I go again. Run that dehydrator twice as long as you think, till those pieces are hard. Not soft and bendable like leather or like jerky. Hard, crispy, where they snap. Okay? Put them in the blender. I took the whole jar of beef tallow in a pan, and then I took the blended meat and fat, put it in the melted bison tallow, took 3 pinches of Himalayan salt, put it in there, mixed it up really good. Just mix, 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 mix. Then I took those little cupcake papers and put them on a pan. I don't know, 25 or 30 of them. And then I took a coffee scoop, which comes out to about 1 tablespoon. Realize this can be really messy, so do it while it's on a cookie sheet or something like that. Scoop, fill up the little mini cupcake paper. Within 1 hour, it cools and it hardens. It's harder than a Reese's peanut butter cup. So don't think like when you think fat, like fat beef tallow, it's going to be like this mushy thing. It's hard, like a candy bar, like a hard chocolate candy bar. So I keep them in the fridge. It's shelf stable because you've taken all the moisture out of the meat. Like you double dehydrated it and then ground it up in the blender. And then when I filled up all of the little cupcake papers, I just took some Himalayan salt from my little salt pig and I just sprinkled it across all of them. They dried, I put them in like a container and I stuck it in the fridge. They don't have to be in the fridge. It's hot out. It's hot out, okay? And they cooled to a pretty firm consistency. So you just peel away the paper and eat it. Three of them and a glass of water will be a meal. Believe me. Tasty, salty but not stinging your tongue, beefy, substantial. I could take 5 of them. No, let's say I could eat 3 of them on the way to work in the morning, part-time job. I had some beef in my tooth. I could eat 3 of them in the car on the way to work, and that'll hold me over to lunch. And then during my little lunch break-ish kind of thing, I could eat 3 or 4 of them. So maybe 6 or 7 throughout the day. And drinking water, like a liter or 2 of water during the day, would be so satisfying, so filling. They're little, but they're satisfying. Do not confuse volume. Do not confuse volume with satisfaction. These things are solid beef tallow mixed with meat. And if it was true pemmican, like you'd put seeds and berries in there and that kind of stuff, I just used the bison tallow, the beef, and Himalayan salt. I suppose I could put different ingredients in there, but I want it to be so stable, literally. I don't want to have a expiration date. Now I'd have to make this stuff. I could make it every 2 weeks. I could make it once a month. You could make a bunch of them. You could buy candy molds. When I was in Walmart the other day, I saw like these candy molds, and you can make like little pucks or little, like what would be half of a, picture an ice cube tray, but not as high, okay, out of silicone, and you can just scoop the stuff in there. When it hardens, you just pop it out, and you have like these little rectangles of a pemmican-ish cake, or a carnivore cake-ish kind of thing. It's slightly labor intensive. That is why when you buy stuff like this, it gives you an appreciation for the work and the labor that goes into making these things. And, when people say, man, these bars are very expensive, you instantly will find out the labor that goes into it. So would you rather pay someone to make them, or would you rather make them and just be creative yourself and make them to your taste, whatever you want? So, something I did today. What time is it now? It's about 10 of 8, almost my bedtime. Time to watch a couple of videos. Cheers, my friends.